Okay, we're good to go. So welcome everyone. Welcome to Dagorà Lifestyle Innovation Hub in Lugano. My name is Michele Crespi. I'm Innovation Manager and Innovation Booster Project Manager here in Dagorà. And I'm pleased to have you all here for the AI Frontiers in Fashion and Lifestyle training. Today we have a pretty good lineup of speakers that will bring you real case studies from the industries, discovering more and more about AI usage in the fashion industry. As mentioned, we have a little introduction to Dagorà and to the Innovation Booster Fashion and Lifestyle program, and then we have a representative from academia. We have CP Company. Caterina is here with us, Acconi Group, and then we close with Hugo Boss with Marco. Later on, we will also have a networking aperitif, so there will be the chance to network and to create connections among participants. Before starting, who among you knows about Dagorà? Raise your hands if you know. Who's the first time here? Raise your hands. So Dagorà, who knows the meaning of the ones who knows Dagorà? Serse knows? Good. So Dagorà basically is D for digital and agora from the Greek, so the place to meet. So that's why we're here. We are here to meet with each other and to create connections. We are a membership-based community based in Switzerland, and we operate here to inspire innovation, to foster collaboration among peers, and to create impact in the region. We are active across different fashion, lifestyle industries. The strongest one, I would say, right now is the fashion one, but we're also covering food and beverage, design, luxury, travel and hospitality, and beauty and cosmetic one. In our hub, we run many events and activities here, and we try to connect local research, universities, investors, brands, retailers, service providers to create more and more impact across Switzerland. As I was mentioning, our community members is now counting more than 120 members. We involve brands and manufacturers, as many of you here today. We have service provider, investors as well, academia. We're working really tough and concretely with academics here in Ticino, but also across Switzerland. Institutions, we have strong relationships with the city of Lugano, the canton, and now we are looking forward to expanding more and more across Switzerland, and also retailers for sure. As I was anticipating, we run events across Switzerland. This year, we increased a lot the number of activities. So we're happy to run events across all the main regions of Switzerland. We have many here in Ticino. We will be having a lot in Zurich. And for this year, we set the goal to expand more and more in Swiss Romance, so involving also the luxury and the beauty and the hospitality industry over there. Regarding fashion, this is a bit the lineup of events we set up for the year, at least till October. We are having today this super training. We will be having another training regarding the usage of crypto in the lifestyle industry, so regarding also fashion. In June, we are going to have an industry deep dive, so a day-long event based on that industry. Just in case you want to know more, there is Matteo here, just in case later you can ask him more. We will be having our flagship event on May the 18th. Maybe you have joined the event already during the past editions, the Lifestyle Innovation Day taking place at LAC here in Lugano. We also have the Innovation Booster Program. So raise your hands who joined the Innovation Booster Program already. Not already, not yet. We have a community day coming super soon, so we will be visiting this Thursday, Hugo Boss headquarters in Colderio, and then we have VIP and investor dinner, one on the April 16 and one in October as well. About the events, as I was saying, we are having this training here now, but I'm happy to share the floor with Matteo, who's going to tell you more about the two main events.
Thank you so much, Michele. So I'm Matteo, Innovation and Speaker Manager for Dagorà. Thanks again, Michele. So Michele this morning was like, would you like to speak about the events? I thought about it and then I said, yes, of course, because we are still looking for some speakers actually. So if you know anybody in your industry that would like to speak, or even yourself, of course, in this event, would be great. You can reach out to me. I'll be here the whole afternoon. This is the event we have here in Lugano. It's, of course, on the lifestyle industries. We have many speakers confirmed already, but still a few spots. I'm super proud of the speakers we already have. My favorite, it's Alex from Faction. Don't know if you know them. They're based in Switzerland. He's the co-founder and the CEO of Faction. If you do ski touring, you know him. Super cool brand, super proud. And of course, Lego, it's a cool one as well, but all the others as well. What's then related to fashion, it will be super relevant also for you. The event we have in Lausanne on the 24th of November. It's at MD Business School. We always do this there, and it's a very nice gathering of C-level executives and many speakers every year. Very cool brands. Last year we had Yves Audemars Piguet, I don't know, Jacob Cohen, Bottega Veneta, LVMH, and many others. It's always interesting to learn from executives from the industry. And I think this was it for me. So thanks so much. Feel free to reach out, of course.
So thank you, Matteo. It's also worth mentioning that this initiative nowadays is being supported by the Innovation Booster Fashion and Lifestyle Program. So let's spend a couple of minutes presenting you the program. So the Innovation Booster Fashion and Lifestyle is an open innovation program backed by InnoSwiss, which is the Swiss Federal Agency for Innovation. It's a funding instrument that creates thematic communities to foster innovation and collaboration between academia on one side and corporate startups, scale-ups on the other one. So we are focusing on fashion and lifestyle and discovering more and more about challenges in the industry and projects that might solve the challenges that we identify. So basically we are capitalizing the fashion and lifestyle community to solve those problems and to face those challenges. We reward up to 10 ideas per year with 28K each, so basically around 300K per year of funding. This is a little bit the process that we go through each year. So we already run an industry workshop, so we gather 25, 30 managers from the industry to discover more about the challenges and the pain points they're facing up to today. We launch a call, then it is now open. We opened it weeks ago. So we are in the process of gathering and discovering what are the challenges of the industry and the innovation hypotheses that might pop up from the innovation teams. We are open for the call till the 21st of April. Then we run a co-creation workshop. So basically all the innovation teams composed by a research partner from academia and a business partner from the industry are going to gather and work with a design thinking approach to go deeper and deeper in the challenge they identified, and then to refine and fine-tune the innovation hypothesis they want to bring to the table. We have our jury to select the best ones that are then selected to pitch the idea they're working on. Happens on 17th of June. And then we actually found the team and they have time to test and implement the project. As I was mentioning, the innovation teams are built up with a research partner, so a representative from the university might be a professor, a researcher, or a PhD student, and on the other side, an implementation partner might be an association, a startup, a corporate. We had CP Company, we had Hugo Boss, we had VF joining, as well as startups and smaller entities for sure. They gather, as I was saying, during the co-creation workshop where they work four hands on the project. The team brings up an innovation idea that might be funded with 28K to be explored. What we are funding actually, so the output of the project might be a proof of concept, a feasibility study, a market assessment, or a desirability testing. So we have an idea, we have a project, we want to test with the market whether it's desirable or not. What we call, so the center point here in the diagram on the right is the sweet spot of innovation. So basically what is desirable from the market, viable, but also feasible when it comes to technically developing the project and the idea. The current status of the Innovation Booster program nowadays, we are in the third year of activity. We have funded more than 500K Swiss francs to teams. We gather more than 70 projects during this year of activities, and we have eight Swiss universities working nowadays on an innovation project thanks to the Innovation Booster. Here below you can also have a look to the sponsors of the initiative. So it's backed by huge brands like Guess, Hugo Boss, 7 for All Mankind, OF Design, Philipp Plein, but as well as different supporters and sponsors like UBS, Alpha Square, Ads for Excellence, Microsoft, and the Lifestyle Tech Competence Center. He's not here already. The guy who won the project, I wanted to bring up this successful story, but this startup has been running the Innovation Booster program. They won the funding, and then they launched the Sartic, which is a startup, and they closed a round pre-seed of 2.1 million Swiss francs a few months ago. So the call, as I was saying, is now open. So just in case you want to discover more about the call and the topics that we are covering with the call, you can scan the QR code. You will be landing on the Join Create platform where you can learn more about the initiative. Those are some of the areas that we are covering. If you want to take a picture, if not, we go ahead. Good. So, without stealing more time to the case studies, it's now time to officially kickstart the training session and the case study session. So, welcome to our academic partner, Giacomo Incas from SUPSI. Please.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting us to this event. Not yet, but meanwhile, so I'm Giacomo Incas, as mentioned before. So I'm a senior researcher in SUPSI. I mean, brand new in SUPSI, like 6 months there. Before that, I was working on companies with focus on European Commission funded projects. So I was writing bits for getting grants from the European Commission, and I'm sort of continuing the same in SUPSI. But I'm also working a bit more into the research and technologies. My background is in computer engineering, so I'm a technician or technologist or whatever you mean. So in the next 20 minutes, so sort of, we'll entertain you about an AI research perspective. First of all, I suppose you know SUPSI, you know where we are located. So we are in Lugano. I'm in the I'm in SUPSI in the Institute of Information System and Networking, which is part of the Department of Innovative Technologies. So we do innovative things in terms of technology. So we make our fingers dirty by doing stuff. Our institute was founded in 2008, 2009. We are now almost 60 people. And what we do, we have 6 research areas that you can see in the circle, around the circle there. So we have audiovisual processing and immersive multimedia. And I mentioned as a first because I belong to that research area. I'm the co-head with the head of the institute, Tiziano Lady, which is the head of the whole institute. Then we do advanced computer, oh, I cannot read it from here. So advanced human-computer interaction, data and engineering, networking, trustworthy network, cloud and networking, and education and open science technology. So as you can see, it's all around IT technology. So it's all around informatics, basically. Today, I will be presenting some research projects that we have been doing in 2 research areas. So in the data engineering, analysis, and processing, and in the audiovisual processing and immersive multimedia, where I belong. And these 2 research areas are different, somehow complementary, because the data one deals more with data processing, as the name means. But we do also user behavior analysis. We try to understand how users interface and interact with the computer. And we deal with data processing at large, so all the pipeline from capturing the data to storing to analysis. In the audiovisual processing and immersive multimedia, we do all around audio, video, XR, VR, sound engineering. We do also gamification. We have some colleagues working on how to make an experience more interactive by creating kind of a gamish experience, so that in technologies you get more involved. And as I mentioned, also audio processing. Now, the question for today is, which AI are we? Because the topic is AI. So I thought, let's start with the question, and let's find at the end if we can find an answer to this question. So there is different flavors of AI. I'm giving 4 examples today. 4 examples today of these 4 projects that we have been doing on AI. So the first 2 will be more on graphics, on computer vision. The second 2 will be more on data processing. Let's start with the first one. I'm not going technical in depth. I just scratch the surface, just giving you really pills examples so that we can potentially build on top. Now, the first project, it's about creating 3D representation of real objects. And I've been having a very nice discussion with Marco that we talk at the end about that. So one of the problems that there are by creating 2D representation of a physical object is that you need a lot of images. The quality is not always as you expect, as sometimes the quantity of time that you have to spend in creating a high quality image, 3D representation of the object is really high. Because for having a very accurate example, you can use techniques like photogrammetry, where you basically bombard the object of pictures, and then you have to mount all the pictures together. And then, of course, you have a very detailed representation of the object, but the cost is quite high. We are working with the AI to see if with some images, not tons of images, we can obtain results that has the same quality as photogrammetry, but at a lower cost of processing, and having also the possibility of having a light images rendered online, so that people can browse it and turn and watch and scale up. Now, this technique is called, as I mentioned, Gaussian splatting. Just as an example, so the Gaussian splatting gives this representation is a mathematical model where basically you take pictures some pictures of the object. And then there is this AI processing that basically identify key points inside this group of images. And around these key points, it puts this kind of circles. And the circles, they represent the quantity of light, the colors, the intensity, other informations. So the idea is that you have this lot of points with lot of information that you don't need, for example, just points, like in the point cloud technology, or you don't need to draw mesh, which is another typically meshes are those that you can find in video games, that you basically need to manually create a 3D model and then modify it and take it. While with the Gaussian splatting, in theory, this process is done automatically, and it's described by mathematical symbols and not by polygons like in the 3D mesh. Now, I have an example here of shoe. There will be more shoes at the end. Sorry for spoiling it. So this is the concept. So we have these points that represent the key points from the images of the shoe. And then around these key points, there are this kind of ellipses that contains the information. Now, the cool thing here is that you can open these in a browser, a normal browser, with an online service, and you can basically browse all around the shoes with this amount of quality, apart from some small details like the integral part of the shoe, that is not yet as good as this one, but all the rest is really high quality, and it's basically rendered real time. And you don't need a lot of computational power because, as I said, it's done in browser. So that's an advantage of having these mathematical functions describing interest points. We also did it for bags, just for testing. And this concludes the first presentation, goes to the second one, which is the consistencies check. Now, changing topic, still on the visual, but not in creating, but in validating the creation. So now with the current systems, ChatGPT, for example, you can simply say, okay, I have a model, I have an address in this case, please transfer the address to the model. That was happening. So this is pretty common nowadays. One problem is that if you do this, sometimes the AI behind may generate artifacts. For example, if you have a very nice jacket, with this pattern here, horizontal, which makes the difference because this is a design thing. So, and then the AI fit into the model. Oops, since the majority of the jacket contains horizontal, vertical, I put vertical here. So because the AI doesn't reason, just reproduce examples as seen. Now, in this case, it's crucial that you have either to either to regenerate the image, so rerun it, but saying, maybe just saying, please, don't put vertical stripes on my pocket, but just change it because that's the pattern that I like here. So what we are doing, what we did in this project is basically giving a generated image, giving a right example, to check the consistency. So is this jacket really the jacket that I'm putting there? And I put just a schema of all the AI which is behind. And what the system does is basically says, I go one back. So the system says, okay, this image has a consistency of 75% to this jacket. That's an information, but what is more important that what we do, we can generate attention points. So these heat maps here, it's the focus point that the algorithm use to basically generate the results. So in the case of the jacket, we will have seen a red around the pocket because the algorithm will have focused its attention on this specific point. And we are able to say, okay, in this case, so the algorithm is able to say that the two images contains the same t-shirt because of these attention points. And here, this is the focus of the algorithm to say that this, let's say, mini shirt belongs to that image. And this goes into the explainability. So we are able to say where is the point that the algorithm basically make a failure or make a success in generating the image. If you want more, this is the schema, but similarly to the jacket. So I just wanted to give you another example of this focus point. So if you take the image and ask the explanation algorithm, so give me a gazelle, so tell me where the gazelle is and why. So the algorithm is saying, okay, gazelle, yes or no, and this is the attention point that tells these are the gazelle, not the elephant. In the opposite side, in the opposite direction, if you ask about the elephant, this is the attention point, so on here. And this is done via, yet again, AI. I'm going to another, so changing now topic from visual, we go to the data analysis. So contains still some visual, but the problem is automatic tagging. So given an image, how do we tag this image? So here, what we did in the project, we had a predefined list of properties, tags, to be associated to different garments. In this case, we have category, subcategory, a type, a fit, seasonality of the garment. And this is our prior knowledge. And then we would like that the AI is able to correctly place these tags into the given t-shirt, shirt, trousers, whatever. We experimented with a large language model, so ChatGPT or things like that. And we tried with two different services, AWS, Amazon, and Alibaba, for the reason that the Alibaba model was also available locally on the computer. So you could basically download it and use it in your machine. The results at the end is the same that we obtained, but the computational time is different. So running that model, Alibaba one, in the local machine, sometimes maybe you want to run things on local machine because you don't want to send data outside. You want to keep your intellectual property within, if not your computer, within the company, have a server running it. So it's possible with this algorithm. That's why we use it, because this Quen one was quite good for fashion and garments and objects, clothes. But on the other hand, it was performed in 30 seconds. While using AWS online, this Nova Pro algorithm, that was faster and on demand online. So we didn't have any requirement about keeping the data secure and private. So we went this direction. And now I explain you how we use the large language model. So, of course, to interrogate, to ask questions to the large language model, think large language model ChatGPT, okay? So you have a prompt, you have to insert some input, some request to the model. And what we did, we inserted together these three requests. I want that you work as a fashion tagging expert, because as I said, this Quen model and this Nova Pro from Amazon, they were specific model for fashion. So say, please act as a tagging expert, take this image as input, and we had to process the images to make it smaller and more consistent with the format expected by the large language model, so either Amazon or the Alibaba one. And then we were giving it an example of what we were expecting at the end. So we gave them an example of tags that we were expecting. So those are not the tags associated to this image. This is just an example of, okay, I'm expecting a tag of type category, subcategory, type, fit, and so on. And this is the pipeline that we use. So we take a garment, so clothes, and then we generated this input, as I explained before. And then the first thing that we did categorization, so from top down. So First thing, give me a category of this garment, tops, perfect. And then we iterated several times to the model to get the other tags. So now that you gave me top, I want the fit, I want the type, I want the list of materials, and so on and so on. And that is the result at the end. So, and that is maybe useful if you want to, you know, populate your online catalog. You get some information without spending hours in putting them manually, for example. Those are the examples of things that we generated automatically using interaction with AI. So shoes, belt, trousers, just an example, some examples. Last examples that I would like to tell you is about this recommender system. This is more, so the other two examples are very close to the market, let's say. We were working together with some partners. This one is more on the research side. And we got inspired by this competition by H&M that was publishing set of data of previous bought garments. So this is basically a long list of who bought what when. Entries. So, and we expanded this list according to that. So we simulated the process of a customer that have bought that particular object. So, sorry, go one back. So this data set just contains Giacomo bought a t-shirt, wife of Giacomo bought a trousers, and that's it. But didn't contain any information about the path inside the store of the user. So we simulated this by introducing some variability. So for example, if you have looked a t-shirt 3 days ago, that has less importance than if you have looked it yesterday. So some decay, we call it, or we generated we generated also some information about, okay, if a person only bought one thing once, has a less importance in the recommender system if that person is very active. We introduce also this model similarity, like, okay, how similar are two garments, and how is the probability that a user that bought this will have bought also the other thing. We introduce also this concept of actions of the user. So we introduce the fact that if I view something, probably the probability that I will look at something, it's 90%, but the probability maybe of clicking on another object is only 10%. So we introduce all this noise to this original data that we had. And then we also introduced this auto tagging. So we were generating also some meta information about the garment. So, and this can be done, for example, with the automatic tagging that I just presented. So to introduce more information. And at the very end, that was the result with two different methods. So these two methods, they are basically trying to find similar product to a given one. This was the given product, so just as an example. And the two methods, they, based on the history that we created around the user, they suggested this related other objects. So you can see the first two are same colors, same style, but then there are some others that you may wonder why are they related to this one. And that's where the experimental part is playing a role. So we have to still investigate it, why this happens. Might be the data, maybe all the noise that we introduced to simulate this process of viewing, putting in the basket, and then buying. Because we only had the information about who bought what, and all the rest we created ourselves to simulate this viewing, basket, viewing, then buying. Okay, so, and that's the end result. But this is, again, to provide you an example of how AI, and you don't see AI is more statistical methods here, but AI is a big family. So as I said before, the conclusion here from my point of view is that you can be the AI that we want. So we can be. So it's up to us to what we see, what we want to use. So you can use statistical methods, as I've just presented. You can use LLMs, ChatGPT to tagging. You can use other neural network that I didn't present it for the consistency check. You can use this beautiful Gaussian splatting mathematical function to reproduce the 3D of an object. This is all AI, different flavors. You can choose one of those, but there are other like hundreds more. So that's the conclusion of my talk, basically. We can be what we want, the AI that we want to be. So you can get in touch. If you are interested in more technology, we can even discuss about these innovation projects of the innovation booster. We will be happy to collaborate. Moving on these technologies, exploring other technologies that we can work on. We are a reliable partner, so thank you.
So we have time for a couple of questions, just in case there are some. Question from the audience? Oh, thank you, Jaco. So heading to the second case study from the industry, I'm pleased to welcome on the stage Caterina Ticchio, Head of Merchandising and Planning from CP Company. A round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. So like Michele said, I'm Caterina Ticchio, leading merchandising and planning at the CP Company. And today, really, I wanted to share with all of you how the AI changed our way to work in terms of a product. So how we price, how we manage really the product decision, and also how we plan. So, but sorry. Let me see. Well, too far. So, yeah, exactly. So, but, and before we talk about AI, so I prepared also some slides that are more about the brand. So what I want, every time talking about AI, I want to start from the brand, so from who we are, because this is for me very important. When we talk about AI, it's important to understand our brand and really understand who we are, because as we see also before, we have a lot of tools. We have a lot of AI, so it's very important really also to present something to the company, to introduce something new that this fits really with our reality. And here, what I said, I prepared something about CP. So CP Company was founded in Bologna in the 70s. That was for sure, okay. So that was at this time really full of innovation, full of experimentation, full of culture. And all this means that also our DNA, the soul of our brand are really ready really for everything that is new is innovation. And what is very important that founded in the 71 from a visionary idea, then what happens that really impacted on the culture, in the subculture. So it was, from a side, was embedded by the culture that we have around, but on the other side also influenced everything is subculture, like, for example, the football or the community. Here, for example, we can see the partnership with the Manchester City, the Bologna culture, but also, for example, the Asian community. Why this is important? Because today, cultural are changing very, very fast, very quick. So when you change very fast, we need really to create this type of translation. It's important to adopt tools like the marketing intelligence that really give you the sense to be on the market quick and real in the real time. So for example, here you can see the laboratorio. So the laboratorio is our platform that connects people and product. And this was also to say that we are ready for experimentation, for introducing something new. okay? Because it's very, to be effective really the AI, your team, your company should be really ready to accept everything. But this was what I said before is our story. So based in craftsmanship, innovation, design, functional design. So we had a lot of story, a brand heritage really great and big. But today, CP company is entering in a new phase. So until what we saw before was a little bit yesterday. So today, where we are in the market, we are in a new phase where we want to grow, and we are growing very fast because we are opening new stores. We are also taking control about our distribution, so we have more and more showrooms. So just a few weeks ago, we opened our showroom in Paris. So we have our showroom in Milan. More and more we take control for our concession. So it means that we started to control our distribution, but also we want to move away what was a successful case, for example, in terms of product. So we sold a lot, thousands and thousands of fleece, where today we are more focused versus more premium product. So we have very clear where we want to go in terms of a product, very clear where we want to go like a customer. But growing means for sure opportunities, but means also complexity. So when you have also a growing that is international, like merchandising, you cannot be everywhere. So means that you should stay in the market in real time, and to be there, of course, you need some support. So our question, real question was how we can really take decisions that are bold decisions in a market that is so quick and so fast in the right way. And the answer that we had was to adopt a platform of market intelligence where we can see all of this information in real time. So when I joined the company in the second half of 2024. And what I found for sure a company that is a strong heritage, a really community traction, a lot of great things. But what also I found that from a data standpoint, we were a little bit weak. So we have really manual benchmarking, the data that were not really updating. We had a lot of silo communication. All of this for sure doesn't help the merchandising to create the next. So, and for me, it was really a painful situation. I think that here I put also my picture because it was quite, trust me, quite challenging, especially for a person that came from more structured organization. And then when I was presented the 5 years plan with all these openings, that are not only in Europe but also in Asia, where they are required, specific products that are more, let's say, adapted for the moment of their market. For me, it was a little bit a mess because it was really data crunching, so really manual going in the site of the competition, etc. So the decision, what I found, they were more reactive decision, not really something that can help me, can help the, to give really the style, the design, to create a collection that can really premium and elevate the brand like we wanted to have in the next 5 years plan. So the shift that we introducing was really to adopt this new platform of the market intelligence, where the first things that before we move on, before we sign with this with vendors, the first things that for sure I analyzing how many brand they monitor. Why the number of the brand is important? It's important because when you are in this phase of growing, in international, so maybe the decision of the competitors that you analyze today cannot be the same of tomorrow. And I think that the example was that 1 year ago, when we started the project, we used the project, we decided 10 competitors. Today, these competitors that are competitors but can be also marketplace, etc., they were relevant 1 year ago. Today, they are not anymore relevant. So, or some of them are not anymore relevant. So the fact that I can rely in a platform that allow me to really follow what is the relevance of the product in this moment is very important. For example, just like an example, we had in our competitors list to benchmark My Teresa, like competitors. It was relevant at this time. Why? Because they use it, they mark down a lot our product, so it was important for us understand when they promote the product, and it was one of our clients. Today, My Teresa is not anymore so relevant for us like it was yesterday. So maybe I need to focus in other competitor, but it's not only this case. Maybe what I said, we are focused in new categories, in new market. So it's important to have a platform that help you to do this. So we choose it. This was one of the criteria when I decided really the platform. And then what this platform help us, it's really to analyze our competitors, for example, from what are the trend. So like now, for example, we can see all the new drop that our key competitors are put in the market. Or, for example, what was really important was the pricing. So finally, we started to understand how to structure in a competitive way our pricing or also our assortment. And here you can see, for example, before we had, for example, what I said that we download from online, we put everything manual, we benchmark, let's say, sometimes a brand, sometimes some categories, etc. Now in real time, we can select the competitors, and immediately we can have the dashboard. Okay, so this dashboard that we can choose what we want to analyze. So if today we want to analyze the pricing, the assortment, the new ins, also the markdown, or for example, what is also important, if there is or not stock out in our competitors, the depth, how much is the depth, if we are good or not in the depth, good or not in the sizing of some product, okay? So, and it's also easy because like it's a dashboard that is already prepared, it's also an easy way to communicate it across the company with some facts that are also easy to read for everyone. So you don't need to be technical. You need just to, you know, to verify. Sometimes you have the bubbles. You have also different dashboard. So all this because we want to be faster in our decision and really moving from a company where the decision were not so data driven. Okay, so we were a company really product driven, but not too much data driven or not too much consumer centric. So today with this tool, this was one of the first tools that we implemented like AI. Today we can really propose something that is factual, that is fast for our decision, but is also consumer centric because it's not moving from us, but moving from what is the, you know, the market. And as you can see, these are all the information that we can find in our platform that manage 1 billion data points. That is something that a normal person, even if it's, you know, doesn't matter how much is talented your team, they cannot manage in real time. So this, for us, it was really important because immediately we can also understand the image, but also understand what we have some weakness, for example, for the pricing, if we have a weakness in the categories, and also helped us, what I said, to talk with other function in a medium way and focus our time really in what is strategic. So before we spend a lot of time just to benchmarking manually, today we spend the timing to think about the strategy. And for example, with all, our product team, we spend much more timing to understand how we need to price each items if we are fully covered in some area and not in others, so how we need to change. For example, we increased the collection progress. This was something that in the past we didn't have, so we had the first brief maybe, and then we see just the sample, so it was too late. The sample at the moment of the pricing. Today, with this tool, we know what is the market, and we can react if our collection is really in line with the market, and also adjust if it's the case. Okay, so just to understand when we use these tools, so we can use in a different moment of our collection. So the first step, for sure, the first two are about the pre-season, and then the third one is about the in-season. So in the first one, it's more, let's say, to define the strategy. When we presented the collection brief, and we presented, the SKU plan, how many price we want, how many items we want to have for each price, etc. The second part is more about, the buying for the direct to consumer. This for us was really a help. Today there are some colleagues from, for example, for e-commerce. We use it also to understand the depth, if we have or not too much product compared to our competition. That means too much product that finally the customer cannot see, it's just a leftover. So this helped us also to reduce the inventory. And then, of course, what I said, the in-season is one of the most important part, because we can also see if our strategy of a markdown that we set up is still the right one to approach, and allow us also to tactically change when is maybe something changed in the market. For example, during the last fall winter, the beginning we decided just to run the markdown like it was in the past. So basically just to wave 130% and then another 40 in the last days, etc. But then we also realized that we were quite the only in this segment that we do in this way. So we starting to analyze how many products the other put in markdown, and we changed our strategy. So instead of put everything, we just put some items and not others. And then also we readjusted. We didn't go so deeper, so aggressive like it was in the past. So at the end of the sales, now that we are in the last days, what we obtained is basically to reach the budget in terms of direct to consumer, and the profit, the margin, of course, is positive. So the side effect was maybe some leftover more because it was a tactical, so we didn't act at the right time 12 months ago, but this is also a learning, because it means that the next time we can react it also for the investment of the stock. Then what I said, these tools that we use it offer us a lot of information. We can deep dive like we prefer. For example, we can go colors, pattern, shape, etc. But we are basically immense brands. So we decided just to focus in 2/3 areas. One of these was pricing. When I arrived, I discovered that basically we have really a lot of price point. Almost one price point for product. So for sure, even if it was manual benchmarking, etc., this was a problem. So my first activity was really to create an architecture pricing clear, because what we discovered basically that we were very strong in the entry essential part, very strong in the premium part, but we were very weak in the core part. So we didn't have really a lot of items. So our activity was like merchandising. It was to prepare a brief clear to the designer, to the product, in how many items we wanted to have in this, let's say, in this core area. And today I can see that we're reducing the price point by 36% in the core categories. On top, we introduce a new area, new product in some core price range. And today that we closed, for example, the sales campaign, I can see that after this is the second sales campaign where we grow in average price by 10%. So we move it out from the entry. So we protect, of course, our bestseller, but we created an assortment in the medium because this was our weakness. And with this tool, basically, we immediately understanding where was our weakness and how to react and to adjust the assortment. So I think that the units were flat, so means that we sold the same units, but with an average price plus 10%. This is quite important in a market then that is suffering, like, for example, some competitors. The second point was about what I said was inventory and markdown. So the markdown was the example that I shared before. We realized that we were maybe too much aggressive versus what consumer wanted, so we reacted on this. And another part was especially for the retail stores, where we identified that we have too much offer and maybe not a lot of depth, so we adjusted this. We created clarity not only internally but also for the final consumer, and this created positive comp, a reduction of stock investment of 20%, so means that million basically, and also a sell-through, a better sell-through basically. The third part, I think the third change that made really this tool effective was more cultural. So it was not really analytical, but was the culture, because really changed a little bit the mindset internally and connected a little bit some function that before, because we didn't have tools that shared and talking about the same language, maybe there were more opinion or like happens in the fashion. So today we have just facts. So especially when we talk about wholesale, we were not so fast, because basically the information arrives every time late. You don't know if it's true or it's just the opinion of someone, etc. So I think that this was really one of the big shifts of the tool, because opens also the adoption of other AI tools. So here, for example, I put what will be the next. So this was the first project, but you can see that in the roadmap of the 2026, there are new projects, AI-based, that are not only merchandising and planning related, but expanded to other areas. For example, we will have something in the commerce, something in the operation, okay, and then also for really more related to planning and merchandising for the allocation. So from one project, we started, to change the mindset. Of course, we had a brand that was able already to accept innovation, something new, because it's part of our soul, our DNA. And this also created, the next, that was basically our first question, how we can build, the grow in a sustainable way for the 5 years plan. Okay, so this was a little bit my presentation. And if there are questions, I'm here.
Questions from the audience? One.
I'm just wondering if the platform you use for research between your competitors is developed internally?
No.
Or is a platform that is already on the market?
No, it's in the market. Okay. So we prepared it to buy from external, and to buy this, what we did, we made some research. So, and what I said, one of the criteria was to understand the brand that uses this, how many brands they can monitor, because sometimes when you start from scratch, you need a little bit of timing to collect all the information. So it's better to use a platform that already have this type of data, because what is really important is also the progress. You can select the period, but you can also understand in this period compared versus last year, how many drops they had, how many items, how many colors, etc., or the pricing if they change it. So more you go versus a platform that is, let's say, full of brands, and more you are quick in your decision. Because I think this the AI should be really, our support should be quick and fast. It will never define the strategy of the company, no? So, but it will help you to be fast on this. Grazie. And then I can share the link.
Thank you, Caterina. Now heading towards the first speech, let's welcome Laura Luraski from Acconi Group.
I'm Laura. I'm from AKN Group, which is a eyewear company that is based here in Lugano. And today I will talk about how we are reimagining marketing through generative AI, basically creating and understanding our audiences. And also I will talk about how AI can help creating new contents. Today I shouldn't be here alone, so for the second part of the presentation, please be kind because it wasn't my part, but I'll try to explain it as better as I can. So first of all, I just wanted to give you an overview about AKN Group and specifically about Akoni Eyewear, which is a brand that is part of AKN Group. And I also try to make you fall in love with the Akoni products as I did a few years ago. Because Akoni is a company that operates in the luxury eyewear market. And it is built upon Japanese craftsmanship because our products are all made in Japan. And we use only the most refined materials and refined design and attention to details, as you may have seen from the picture. But Akoni is not just about aesthetics. It's also about timeless. It's also about performance, and it's also about durability. So we wanted to make a product that lasts during the time and that respect the materials through which it's made. So I just wanted to give you an overview because it's very important to understand where are we, which is the market we operate in, and also understanding that as an assumption, as you may know, today product is very important, it's relevant, the quality is important to customers, but what is changing is the customers itself. So what I wanted to start with is the analysis of our audiences. Basically, traditional marketing built their audiences on demographics, which is age, gender, income, geography. So the traditional marketing doesn't consider what is the behavior and which are the interests of the customers nowadays, which are changing a lot because complexity is arising. And also what is very important to consider nowadays that the attention of consumers is completely segmented because nowadays consumers are exposed to many different information every day. So as attention is fragmented, we need to be relevant in a way to our customers. How we can do that? By understanding our audiences and most importantly by understanding which are the interests and which are the behavior of our audiences. So this cannot be made by intuition and by assumptions anymore, but because it's too expensive and it's not enough. We need to rely on the information, on the data that comes directly from our customers. And in this market as a luxury, it is, as you may know, it is very important to be relevant to our customers. So, as I said, consumers are exposed to many different information every day, but consumers also create information, create data, because through social interactions, through e-commerce transactions, search queries, and also through reviews, they create data. And these data are raw signals, raw informations, and around them there's a lot of complexity. So it's very difficult for a company by yourself to understand this data and to use this data. So how we can do? AI in this case becomes transformative. So AI takes all this data, the data sets, and works with this data, trying to find the patterns, trying to find the clusters in a way that we can put together all the informations that, like similar interest, similar behavior, and find the factors, find the clusters, which are basically our audiences. In this way, we go from just understanding to predictions. So these were the assumptions that we needed to make before going into depth on the theme of today. So AI is a powerful tool. It doesn't replace marketing strategy, but it removes uncertainty in a way that marketing strategies are stronger. Now I wanted to go into depth to our case study. I started to work with our digital company, digital marketing agency, with an AI powerful tool, which is an AI platform that helps brands like ours to understand which are our audiences based on real digital behavior data. So how does it do? First of all, the tool is called Audience, of course, and he works in this way. So first of all, sorry, I just made a confusion. So we start by describing our research directly in the platform. So we are explaining what we are looking for. Which are the audiences we are looking for, and the system translated into data analysis. Second step is explore the audience segments, how we can directly filter the interest, the behaviors, also the age, the gender, all the information that we want. Third, it allows us to create brand personas, which are basically our audiences based on real data and not just assumptions. And finally, we have an AI assistant that can help us also to go more in depth by interpreting the results of this analysis. So in the end, using this kind of AI-powered platforms, we are receiving not just static reports, but we have a dynamic platform that help us explore more in depth which is our audience and to understand which is our audience. So starting from complexity, starting from raw data, then we have a clear audience insights. Now, also, this is really a nice feature that is part of the flow that I just described, which are digital twins. Digital twins are actually virtual copy of real customers, and they are based on digital behaviors and surveys, focus group, A/B testing. So through these platforms, we can collect all this information very easily and create the digital twins. So digital twins, as said, are copies, digital copies of our customers. And what we can use them to do? We can use them to test mostly, to test messaging, to test a campaign, to test positioning. So, for example, if you wanted to launch a new campaign, we don't want to launch it and see how it will work or if it will work. But we want to first simulate how the audience is likely to respond, how the audience will perceive the new campaign. And this is the best way to do that. Now, after we made this this flow with this new platform, we at the end created our brand personas. These are just two examples. We have three, but these are the most performing right now. So first of all, we have David, the performer, and Charlotte, the radical chic. As explained, we started from a panel workspace, so a briefing area, where we can put all the information we may need to give them. After that, we have audience segments where we can engage with, so filtering by age, by income, we can filter by interest. In this way, we create different dashboards based on social demographics, interest, mood, context, and we can, based on this dashboard, also launch some surveys. So ask them information, ask them hypothetical questions. Now I'm going to introduce you David. Why David? Because as also is its name, is the performer, is also the one that is performing the best, and is the one we found out before than the other. So how we did? We started with filtering information. So we said to the platform that we were looking for a male and a man with the high or highest income. After that, we also told him, we gave another filter, which the interest should be around technology and also combined with luxury. Also, we made an assumption that this customer should have bought at least one, in the last 5 years, one luxury watch, also with the specific branding. In this way, by giving this assumption, the tool could understand that we are looking for someone that is interested in products that are high-ended, with a very good quality material, with very good quality production. So in the end, we had David. David, as you may have seen, is after this analysis, we found out a population of 6.6 million people, real people, globally, which could be potentially our customers. And they were 6.6 million people, million David around the world. So David for us now is mostly based in the United States. And the age mostly is between 25 to 34 years old. Sorry. Also, I wanted to give you another inspo, as we now have David that is based around the world. But if we wanted to go more in depth, as we did, because we are now also changing our communication and we are changing our campaigns based also on geography. So we don't want the same campaign running in Europe and the same campaign running in the United States. So we also went more in depth in our analysis. And for example, this is David just in Europe. So David in Europe is 2.19 million people. So much less than before. But they are real people. As you can see, there are already differences between the global David, because, for example, the age here is around 45 to 54 years old, so much older than before. And the David here is married, and we also can see which are the platform he's using the most, where we can find him, for example, through social media. So as a company, probably we won't concentrate on using campaigns through Pinterest or TikTok, but for David, we will concentrate on Instagram and Facebook. So also you can see which are the tools he's using to make research, or which he does streaming. Also, you can see the purchase habits, so we can see the interest of David and target them when we make campaigns, but also consider them when we create new communication, new contents. So basically, in the end, the audience that we receive through this AI tool gives us the opportunity to rethink our marketing strategy at 360 degree, because it's not just about performance marketing, of course, but it's also about Marcom in general. So it's about communication, it's about the tone of voice that we use through our social media. Also, when we communicate with our customer for assistance, or it's also about finding the right merchandising. So all this information are very precious for companies. And unfortunately, we don't have anymore the tool to just find this information by ourselves. But we have these precious platforms that can help us improve in this way. So in the end, as a conclusion, as said before, which are the advantages of using AI to find the best audience is that we can find a wider data coverage. So we have many more information, many more data. We can optimize performance marketing because in this way, we don't spend a lot of budget, a lot of money on campaigns that are not working, just trying to find the right audience. But we will go directly to the right audience. We also have a real dimension of the target audience. And as said before, this cover a 360-degree marketing strategy because we can apply this information also to merchandising and sales inputs. We can use, we can create a tailor-made content based on brand personas. And also, we can implement this information in a concrete media plan, not just digital, but also print. So in conclusion, it will result in a brand coherence and brand reputations. Now, I'm going to explain you also, and mostly I will leave the words and the video sorry. I will leave the video and the images to talk, and I just try to explain a little bit how we use also AI to create contents. And first of all, what is very important, because as a small company, and I don't know if there are other small companies as us here in this room today, but sometimes can be tricky and sometimes can be also, I mean, we are worried about using AI because we don't know how to use it. What we can suggest and what we did is to start using AI from the beginning and not just at the end. So using AI for creation of content is important, but also starting using it to understand, as said, which are our audience, but also in other different flows inside the companies is as well very important. So I will show you a very quick video about our fall-winter campaign. In this case, we used AI in a hybrid way. So we use normal footage and video production, and we mix it together with the AI production because we wanted to also try to find a way to communicate this information that we receive also through our analysis, so through brand personas. We are starting to understand that our customers is interested in cars, is interested in sports, and also in many different hobbies like this one. And we wanted to put it also in our communication through contents. So the AI helped us to put velocity, speed, and performance inside this video. And now I'll show you how. Don't know if there's the volume. So basically, in this video, what was produced by AI was the part related to the car and the man that was skiing. So we wanted to represent, as I said, the speed, the velocity, and the inspiration beyond the campaign. The part related to models was still real production. But overall, I would say we found a way to represent what we're trying to represent, and we did it in the right way. So now, why AI is important in the creation of contents? So the advantages, first of all, are targeting and personalization. So using AI, you may personalize how much as you want, because you can tell directly to AI, what are you looking for? What is your expectations? Speed and experimentation. Of course, you can create a campaign from zero kind from zero in a very short time, instead of many months of producing or starting from the scratch idea and going to the shooting. So of course it really speed up the process of creation. And the cost reduction and greater scalability is not just because, of course, the cost reduction it's obvious, because you don't need to go in a specific place, or you don't need to move all the people around the production of the campaign to specific parts, or just, also finding the right place and so on. But you also can find the best place just giving the input to the AI that we want that place to be in the campaign. And also the team will be concentrate on the creative part and not be concentrated anymore on other activities that takes a lot of time. So basically, two are the most important things when you want to create a content through AI. First of all is the clear idea of what you wanted to represent, so a clear creative direction. And secondly, are the information, the inputs that you give to the AI. So for example, the images in different angles of our products, or also the inspiration images for the models, male and female, and also lighting and landscapes. So these information are the basis to create a powerful and finally new campaign, which represent what you wanted to represent. Now we have another video. This second campaign was made totally by AI. And the funny story around it is that we just launched a capsule in a very short time. So we needed something to, of course, launch the capsule also through our social media and through our communication platforms. Of course, as well, in a short time, so we didn't have the time to find the production, to find the team that creates the campaign. So we went through AI completely. And this is the results. And I would say that as the purpose was of launching this new capsule, which was limited edition and direct to a specific customer, I think that we arrived to the goal, to what we wanted to represent. What we also should always remember is that AI doesn't do the magic alone. So there's always the need of a creator, a person behind the AI that gives the inputs, that gives the right informations. Which are the tools? There are many tools that can be used to create through AI. And this platform, there are many platforms also that integrate different tools that are able to create images, videos, 3D contents, and many more, and to integrate them in a right way. So also this kind of work that we make through AI is scalable because it creates workflows that can be reused by the team for also future contents. This is I would call it the tree, as you can see, different ramification of the content generation of the latest campaign that I just showed you. And as you may see, this kind of mood board is the input that we gave to the platform to create this campaign. And we gave specific shots of the glasses, but also some inspirational images about models and also about the environment, giving a script to make the AI understand what we were looking for. Of course, we couldn't represent all the details that we have in our glasses directly in the final output, but of course there's also a little bit of post-production in our work, but still in a very quick time. In 2 weeks, we created this campaign that helped us to launch the new product. So as said before, humans remain at the center of the creative process. They are very important. The creative direction should be clear and should be direct. Otherwise, AI will just get confused. So in conclusion, AI in the creation of marketing campaigns is not just to speed up the process of the creation, but is also more important when you create it also considering the personas. So after a depth analysis of our brand personas, and if you take together also the generative AI to create contents, we are closing the loop of the generation of the campaigns and the contents. So this is it from my side. I think it was a very nice opportunity also to be here today representing my company. And if you have any question, please ask.
I have 2 questions. The first one is, are you creating the contents internally, or are you using an external agency based on the AI?
So we have a person which is the one that is our content creator. She makes the mood board that we wanted to give then to the external agency that make the production. Usually we make 2 main campaigns by a year, so we try always to find the new providers to work with for content creation. In this case, we started to work with this company that is based here in Lugano for the latest campaign that was made in AI. But we worked with them before, so they had also, they also already know the product, so they already know which are the most important aspects that we wanted to highlight. And so, yeah, usually, yes, we outsource the production.
Thank you. And the second question is, I think that David is the best client that every brand wants. He's a rich businessman. The question is, do you think that the buyer persona that this tool helped you to create are based also on the dates? 10 of your most valued clients have these characteristics. So are the buyer's persona also based on the data of the real clients, or also by hypotheses that you create?
No, of course, they are also based on real clients. In fact, when we created the brand personas at first, we hadn't had a B2C platform, so we didn't know who was our final customer. So it was very difficult to understand which were our brand personas. We remade the analysis after we launched our e-commerce, after we acquired more information about our customers. And in this way, this is why we could say that our customers should be into technology innovation and of course into luxury, because this is our product. So of course, having also data from your company make this process even easier, and knowing a little bit your final customers as well. But also data that you can achieve from these platforms are also very, very powerful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So last but not least, a round of applause to welcome Marco Ronca from Hugo Boss.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. So let's start from the basics. I think this is the wrong one. No. So this is me. I'm a senior 3D artist, but I will deep dive better after what I'm doing. So where we are, so I don't many of you knows where we are, but if you don't know, you know it now, because we are here in Coldrerio, and if maybe some of you will visit us soon, And this is what you're going to see. So this is very nice nest inspiration building. So a little quick overview of our story. We start in 1996, and slowly we grow into different business till 2012 is a date to remember, because it's when we start to invest a lot in the digital development, 3D virtualization, visualization. Later, business unit of footwear accessories were created there, where I work. In fact, now we can see. So this is like the category that I work for. And leather accessories, small, large wallets, bags, backpacks, belts, footwear, and soft accessories, hats, scarves, so these sort of gloves. So let's see, like I work in the BU, so business unit. Maybe for you it's very, you know already, but who doesn't know? So this is the very, very top line basics workflow that I see every day. Product managers, collection framework to the design team, and then we start with development vendors, also operation, which I didn't put here just to simplify what I'm going to say later. And then we go to B2B sales till B2C sales. This is like the ideal flow of like very top line. This is me, curly hair, designing like how make it digital. And this is again me, that I'm also doing these other fruits where I get a brief from product managers. They give me a brief, and then I do a content creation to go straight to B2B sales, sometimes B2C sales. Let's look what is a content for B2B sales, very, very easy. So we go and we have product views, which is actually like the real, what we need there. So very, very easy. Like shooting, but also 3D views. Also, we start to do like 360 videos, and this is a very easy video, but just to make you understand what it's like in a digital showroom. 3D view of that is a photogrammetry, like I think now you all know what it is. And when it comes to B2B sales made by content creation, this is a little show reel of what we do, like for key product, and I show you this little show reel. So this is where we use these kind of videos. Usually it's like worldwide showroom for the B2B sales, and the presentation as well of product managers during the meetings. This is the other channels when this kind of work, they go to B2C sales. Sometimes some of these images, they go, usually in e-commerce is the like easier channel to go to, because sometimes we have special needs like these very simple images. Or sometimes I also work with agency to create and give 3D asset or like support art direction to create such a like small animation that can work very well on e-commerce. Last is the experience in the app where you can try the virtual try-on. So for this we have like a 3D asset that we give to the provider. So just a quick history for us of how we develop since that day I told you to remember 2012. We were before like this, like most of all the fashion company, where all these interactions were happening in Excel, PowerPoint, Microsoft, then Illustrator, Photoshop, specific tools like that to interact between design and development and vendors. And B2B sales, B2C sales were mostly held by shooting.
After 2012, this was a big part for Hugo Boss. We are very first in class, I think, to invest in this pipeline where 3D was very important. And we start to design in 3D and also develop in 3D, not only sell already in 3D in the B2B phase, quite largely. Today, this is what we as like photograph of the pipeline. Today we already have AI most everywhere in this phase. And this is a question mark, but we saw also from the previous presentation it's not such a big question mark. We believe that AI could also, like already did, to fill the gap between B2B sales, B2C sales, or at least do something about it. Interesting part is content creation. Before we said it was just shooting, but the B2B sales was already on point. I was already using 3D, VFX, shooting, whatever. I mean, depends on your budget, but like before 2012. And it was still consistent. So content creation instead did a big step forward with the 3D and VFX and shooting, because already before AI we could create content to sell, sorry. And obviously with AI today we see AI spreading everywhere. But that's most the journey that we did in this part. So now a quick overview of the KPI of the group. We see how in the past we already had like an important KPI for us, which was the 3D development. So the target was to develop more in digitally, especially safe prototypes, be more sustainable. And this was like the real KPI till last year, till we reached the target. But tomorrow we will change them, and tomorrow they're not published yet, so I cannot tell much about it. They will be published in 2 weeks' time. But the focus area will be more large and not only about 3D. So it's going to be wider as approach, and we are going to have KPI that will also involve AI in this. So now, just a quick overview on how I use AI every day in a small task in my daily job. So usually I get a brief, and very simple. Usually it's quite top line. We have a shoe, ideal for traveling. In the past I was doing analysis by myself, like imagining who was the customer, which was the best part of the product that I could use to create my content, because usually you have a white canvas to play with. I was coming off with performance, outsole, comfort, and I was like mostly by myself analyzing and looking online and so on. Today with AI, we can know more, and we are partner with Microsoft. We are partner with Copilot, using like AI intensively with them, and now we can have agent or like we can chat to know more about our customer, and also create and be more focused on the campaign that we're doing, even if they are only B2B. So mood board, it's very nice, because before any creative knows Pinterest or other platform that you can pick up images from anywhere, and we were like building up our mood board to understand what was the direction where we wanted to go. And this was basically what was the outcome together with the like top line topics. But today, from an image like this, we can get back to an old video that we did, a campaign, and in 2 seconds, with a prompt, which is a sneaker, we can get something like this, and we can put it inside the mood board easily. So we can envision before what is the idea of the video, even if it's simple. And again, AI and the models, usually I'm a 3D artist, so I start to work a lot before in 3D, then you implement shooting, and now AI. But like when we work in 3D or VFX, you need usually a 3D base, usually come from design team. You can get anywhere. If you're lucky, you get something like this, but you need to work hours to make it good for you. When we don't have it, we did photogrammetry, so from photo acquisition, we are able to get like a 3D, but again, you need to work on it. Now the cool thing is that especially for concepting, it's very useful. You have an image, you have low resolution, you get like in 1 second like a proportion, and then you can start to work on it to make it better, to arrive to this, and then you can create a video picture like this. And these tools are going very in a fast development, so actually this is a very, very old result. Now you get much precise 3D model from an image. You can also put multiple images to get the right model, so it's actually very powerful for the VFX world. So now, just I mean a test, but I don't think it's really a test. I think you will understand immediately. I have 3 videos here. Maybe you can guess in your head. I mean, nobody will answer now at 5:45, but you can imagine what you think is AI, 3D or shot. You will think it in your head, yes. So let's start from the first one. I mean, it's a shooting that we did in our factory in Italy, in Morrovalle, and this served just to highlight that these 3 tools, they serve the same scope. This was us, like very homemade, trying to make it happen, because B2B business has way lower budget than B2C business. This was another part of another video, and this was 3D. So this was like entirely modeled. It came from the design model that you saw before, and who knows a bit of 3D, the topology, texturing, and it's like all the workflow that you need to do for it. So this is like kind of the video behind the scene. And this is like just for today, because the new video, unfortunately, I cannot show you what we are doing, but this is like a video that comes from an image and a very simple prompt. So, and if you can do this in a few seconds, if you have more specific tool for video creation, it could be very, very powerful, and we are testing them a lot. So now, just would like to do a short conclusion of what's for you the role, what's going to happen to the roles, and who are the roles. So for this, I want to show you like a short campaign that maybe some of you already saw.
I want to be what I feel. I believe we all have the power to manifest.
You have to have a vision.
I want to be the next. Boss. To become it, you have to be it. You have to be it. It's all here.
And I'm here. And I'm just getting started.
Who do you want to be? Be your own. Be your own boss. Boss.
So, how many people work on this production for you? Also, this you can think in your head. I don't know if all of them, but this is like most of the roles that you can imagine that works in a big production. These are not specifically to that video, but in general, for who doesn't know about content creation, for doing big campaigns, you need loads of people without counting external, internal agency. And I want to focus to highlights like the stylist, the art directors are very important, and then I will say something about it again. But director, producer, sound designer, VFX editor, like it's crazy the amount of people behind this. And this is only to highlight that the content, when we create a content, when it goes to be a campaign, my content is more B2B, but usually the expectation are campaign level. So at crazy, already with being a 3D artist, this was already visible, because you need to do a light designer, set designer, art direction, you need to animate, you need to be like everything. So, and it's very overwhelming. And today, I want to imagine you to ask to create the same campaign to the same person. Imagine to be that employee that kind of is there and it's like, can you do that? And this is how you feel. And today, with AI, it's even crazier. You saw some like node before as well, as like this. Because you can do anything, like it's very, very overwhelming. And I want to highlight something that for me it's very important. For me, for my job, it was already with 3D, that the AI is a tool. And great content comes from people expertise, not from the tool itself. That's why for me the creative area will shine more, it will be even more important. Because this is like, if you don't have expertise, but you have the instrument, this is what supposed to be jingle bell. And I think human expertise leads. Just a little bit because I think it's beautiful, this concert, and then content creation will evolve, and with it people's roles will evolve as well. So I just want to highlight that this is my opinion, what is gonna change, is gonna happen soon, and we already saw before previous presentation. So I don't know if any of you has questions.
Questions from the audience?